I had a great day today. Love the Peds unit. Definitely my space, so I really enjoyed it. Um, my nurse had several patients, but I actually chose a little boy. Um, he has some genetic things going on. But anyways, he's a male, 14-month-old boy. He weighs 11.6 kilograms. He's 78 centimeters long. He actually presented to the ER in respiratory distress with insufficient oxygen in the blood. He was immediately admitted to the ICU. And they found just a little background. When he was born, he had some issues going on right off the bat, so he was a preterm newborn. He was diagnosed with respiratory insufficiency syndrome. He also had neonatal seizures, and he still has seizures, so he's actually on seizure medication or anti-seizure medication. And then he also has a history of aspiration pneumonia. So and then bronchopulmonary dysplasia. So this little boy has a permanent trach. And what happened was he basically they had to do a culture on his trach. And they found out that he had a pseudomonas infection. They called it a tracheitis. So basically, he's on antibiotics. They also found when they ran labs, they did cultures, and then of course they did like the metabolic panel. But because he's on anti-seizure medication, they actually ran labs to see how much of that medication was in his system, and they actually found none, like no trace amounts of it, meaning that their biggest concern is that mom wasn't giving baby medication. So he ended up having seizures. He actually had seizures when he was in the pediatric ICU. He's since back on all of his medication. In terms of that, he's doing really well. They are just at this point, they took him off of oxygen today, and so he was just on room air. He just has a little bit, they still have the little cuff over his trach tube just for the humidity. He's got a lot of mucus, so there was a lot of suctioning involved with this patient. But so I was able to do an assessment on him. He was awake, but he definitely wasn't oriented. He is, developmentally, he's very delayed. His genetic component to his illness is not known. They're not exactly sure what's going on with him, other than that he does have clonic, I believe it was clonic tonic seizures. So he needed to be on this medication full time. But so that was about it. There was some, I believe this is the same patient that Whitney had last week, where the mom had seizure coded as well. And so he does have a guardian that has been appointed to him by the state, and can only have his visitation by his mom and dad has to be monitored by the hospital staff. So that is about it on this patient. Thank you.